if it can help you that drastically in your life, that's like insane time to reward ratio. Like, where else do you invest 10 minutes and have a life-changing effect on your life?
What's going on, everybody? It's Alex Olapade from the Pavlok team here. I'm here with Jack Smith, power user of sorts. He's used the Pavlok for sleep. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Jack, before we begin the interview.
Sure. I'm kind of in the tech world, based in San Francisco. I moved here from London about 6 years ago, and I love learning new things and trying out different things and different gadgets. And so I can't remember how I first found out about Pavlok, but I was really excited to try it once I kind of heard about it.
Cool. So you mentioned obviously sleep was the first thing you used it for. Given that you probably have a really tight schedule, being what it sounds like is an entrepreneur of sorts, a business leader, what problems were you having before using Pavlok that you were thinking about fixing?
Basically, I've always just struggled with not necessarily waking up, but getting out of bed, and just feeling super lethargic in the mornings, and so struggling to get out of bed, and it even resulted often in, if I had a call a meeting in the mornings, that I might miss the meeting or be late. I remember even important meetings, like we had a board meeting and I was late to it, and we had a weekly all hands call at our company every week, and to make sure that I wasn't late for it, I even took as drastic steps as sleeping in the office to make sure that I was didn't fucking miss it, because I struggled so much with getting out of bed, because I would set an alarm, but then I'd just wake up and turn off the alarm. I'd set 10 alarms, and I tried every alarm clock you could imagine. I had the world's largest alarm clock, which also shakes your bed like a pneumatic drill. I made my own alarm clock, which actually I made my own alarm clock. Well, I made a few alarm clocks, but one I did basically involving a water pump like you have in a fish tank. So the alarm would go off and it would spray you with water.
Oh my god!
So
this is a classic entrepreneur move right there.
I took extremely drastic measures. I tried everything, and basically Pavlok is the most effective alarm clock that I've ever used, and pretty much the only one that actually just worked pretty much flawlessly.
Okay, so you were taking some seriously drastic steps before Pavlok came through. So what is it about Pavlok that really worked for you where the others didn't, you think?
Well, because the others wake you up, and I didn't have trouble waking up. So okay, it's great. You've got the world's loudest alarm clock. I'm not. The issue I had was I'm not. It's not that I'm a really deep sleeper. I didn't need the loudest alarm clock to wake me up. The trouble that I had was getting out of bed. Leaving the warmth and comfort of being in bed and being I'll just snooze longer or nap or whatever, and so the difference was that Pavlok was not just an alarm clock to wake me up, it was getting out of bed.
It looks like we lost the feed there for a second.
This that I'd seen to this alarm clock where you had to get out of bed and then stand on a mat for 10 seconds before to shut your alarm off. And so I like that concept, but I don't know if that device even ever shipped. It was more just in idea stage. So Pavlok just very effectively. I actually tried to create something similar to Pavlok before, where my idea was so I even got an old Android phone and disabled all the buttons, because I rooted the phone, disabled all the buttons so you couldn't turn it off and you couldn't adjust the volume, and the only way to turn it off was to take it into the bathroom and touch it against a QR code. So
Wow.
so much work to do all this shit, and it didn't even work that well anyway. But yeah, so Pavlok just cured that issue of getting me out of bed.
That's great. I mean, I think I share like that lethargic sense of like, oh, well, maybe I can just push this off. And I know that for me, like, when the first decision that I make is to get up and start, the rest of my day goes so well. So for sure, I mean, my question for you would be like, I mean, does it affect the rest of your day? And if so, how? You know, when you make that first decision with that zap, okay, I'm going to start, I'm going to get ready, I'm going to get to work, etc.
Well, the thing is that actually how Pavlok works, just for me personally, is that I don't actually experience the zap because it's actually my body waking up naturally in apprehension of the zap.
Yeah.
So the zap is actually just like, if I get zapped, that means that I messed up because that means that I stayed in bed too long. So for me, it's like getting up and disabling it to avoid getting zapped. And so basically it just like just puts me in a good frame of mind to get up and get started. Because I think if you're just like, if you're hitting snooze all the time, it just puts you in a state of kind of drowsiness. I think just like, I'm awake, get up, go and do, like, is probably the best mindset to be in.
You might really like a book called The 5-Second Rule. It's by Mel Robbins. And she talks about this, how, you know, every decision's a 5-second decision. And if you don't, you know, answer the call, like deep in your body, wait, I should do this within 5 seconds, your brain will find a reason not to do it. But one thing that she mentions is how part of the reason why the snooze button is so bad for all of us, it's the most dangerous invention in all of sleep history, is because not only do you lose the time from just sitting there and doing nothing, but your body thinks it's going back to sleep. So it takes another few hours for it to get out of that zone where you're playing tug of war with your own body. So, I mean, I can imagine, and for me, like, the first thing I used it for as well was sleep. So I actually had the same experience, funny enough, that I rarely feel the zap because I'm like, oh, geez, okay, I gotta get ready, you know, before that zap hits. So very powerful. So then, I mean, I guess my next question for you is, for somebody else who's trying to facilitate a better waking up a system, you know, what is your recommendation to them, especially within the context of it being a getting out of bed problem or like a deep sleeper problem?
Well, one hack that I did, and I shared it kind of in the Pavlok group, is that because different people have different challenges. Some people might struggle with waking up. Some people might struggle with getting out of bed, like me. Because it was the getting out and about part that I was struggling with the most. I did a different kind of hack, which is basically I put a zip tie through the watch. So basically I couldn't take it off unless I get out of bed and get some scissors and cut the zip tie. And so that's basically the hack that I came up with. That was like really effective for me, is that I put the scissors downstairs in my bathroom. So I'm waking up. I basically have to wake up, get out of bed, and run downstairs to get the scissors to cut it, because otherwise I can't take it off. Physically can't take it off.
Yeah.
And so that worked very well for me, because it's getting me to the location that I want to be in my case, the bathroom, because then you just really jump into your next routine, like just wash your face, do your teeth. So it helped me get from A to B, because otherwise, again, like some bit I had was like, maybe I'd wake up and then I could just take the Pavlok off, because I'm like, oh, I'll just like snooze now or whatever. So basically just like trick my own self, I came up with this like zip tie hack where I just like threaded it through the band.
That's also kind of cool, because you're probably literally running downstairs.
I know, I'm literally.
So you get a little bit of exercise too. You know? My
roommate finds it hilarious.
That is really funny. Before the zap hits, yeah. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, that's thank you for doing that, by the way. I mean, that's really great that you're giving some advice to other people from your success. We'll have to tell Manish to create like a zip tie that has like a key to it or something.
I think he was looking at like future versions having like a padlock or something on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. So, are you planning on using this for any other habits?
Yes, I have experimented with it for to cut down, like for example, on like sugary food cravings,
Yeah.
and in many ways it has helped me quite a lot. The only challenge that I had with that is that I have like or I feel like I have quite low kind of willpower, so I'd found it hard to shock myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like quite high or low like pain tolerance, so even the lowest setting for me is very painful, and so it is something that I want to do. I just need to work up to it, but I know that I've got 2 friends, so I've given a Pavlok to 2 people just who had serious issues. One was addicted to chocolate, just like ate too much chocolate, put on a lot of amount of weight. My other friend was like addicted to sugary foods. Both of them, I just randomly found out a few weeks later that it's just cured them within a matter of days.
That's awesome.
So I gave it as a gift to one of my friends, and he just sent me a message like, "Hey man, I haven't eaten chocolate for 6 weeks." And I'm like, okay,
amazing,
wow, I didn't even know you were using it. My other friend, I like lent him mine, and then basically had sat on his table, it was like in the box for like a month. He didn't do anything with it because he didn't really know how to get started. He found the instructions somewhat confusing. He didn't really know what to do, and then I just explained to him like, because he was like, right, listen, dude, I want to try this. How does it work? And I was like, listen, you want to quit eating ice cream? Eat ice cream and then just shock yourself whilst you're eating it. Do that for like 3 days, whatever. And he's like, okay, cool. And then I just saw he just posted on Facebook. I didn't even know he'd actually been using it, but he just posted a picture on Facebook like, everyone needs to try this. It's been a month now that I don't have any cravings at all. Actually, kind of get repulsed by it. So the 2 people that I've recommended is working really effectively. Even before those 2, just from being in the Pavlok group, I've seen how effective it is. So I have 110% trust in its effectiveness. The main challenge for me, not incorporating it into more habits myself personally, has just been having the self-discipline to zap myself. So one bit I might try is like getting someone else to zap me, because you can control it from your phone. So that's one bit I might do to incorporate it in other areas of my life. But basically I've just seen firsthand how effective it is at curing bad habits. Probably even more effective than as an alarm clock potentially, but an alarm clock is a use case where you have every day.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, nobody's pretending that, you know, aversion therapy is not an extreme method, right? I mean, it is. You're actually shocking yourself, but I mean, coming from me, even like I actually finally use it myself, because I was taking a long time to use it for food too, and I've actually lost in the last 3 months like about 20 pounds.
Great, congrats, man.
Yeah, so you know, I think, you know, and this is something I wanted your opinion on too, like just the idea of shocking yourself. You know, do you find that a lot of your friends, when you tell them about it, they're like, oh, that sounds kind of weird, or like that feels kind of crazy? Because I think like when I tell people about that, the first thing they say is like, oh my God, wait, you're gonna shock yourself? That's kind of intense, right? But at the same time, it's so effective, and I know so many people who've used it for the exact same way. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a bit wacky, but I mean, like I took it to a dinner, for example, and like everyone at the table was up for trying it, and then they're like, oh, that hurts, or whatever. And yeah, you might get reactions like, oh, why would you want to do that? But then just look at the time to output ratio. That you're not shocking yourself all the time. You're basically just doing this for like 3 days for 5 to 10 minutes a day. And that's just the getting started part. And then, yeah, so basically if you have something that's really affecting your life and can have a dramatic impact, you've lost 20 pounds, some people have quit smoking, if it can help you that drastically in your life, and we're talking about 5 to 10 minutes of work across 3 days. That's like insane time to reward ratio. Like, where else do you invest 10 minutes and have a life-changing effect on your life? So sure, your friends might think it's weird, or it might be scary, the idea of shocking yourself, but it's the same as getting a vaccination, right? Like, why would you voluntarily have someone stick a needle in your arm? Oh, it's because it's like going to give you loads of benefits. So small amount of input, massive amount of output. So yeah, it's not like you're now saying like, oh, I'm starting doing this thing where every single day I'm electrocuting myself. That's kind of crazy. You're saying for 3 days I'm just electrocuting myself for 5 minutes, and then it's going to have a huge impact on my life.
I couldn't agree more, man. And you know, it's funny because, like, I mean, I joined the Pavlok team after wearing the product for 2 years. So, you know, this is coming from the perspective, coming from the perspective of somebody who like really loves the product and joined up because I love the product. I'm not saying this because, oh, well, he's being paid to say it. Like, I gotta say that the amount of people who we've talked to, I just talked to a woman who completely got over the scars of sexual assault using Pavlok. You know, it was the being in a place where you forget that you have control of your own life thing. Like when you are victimized like that, I think, I mean, for this person in particular, the issue was that she was looping into this negativity thing where she was allowing other people to take control over her life, and she was allowing herself to go deeper into the hole, and she used Pavlok to zap herself every time she felt negatively about something, and she was actually able to separate herself completely from the negative influences of her life and create a support base. And she's given Pavlok to like 6 different people, and we actually like interviewed her, and that's going to be another video, but just, I mean, knowing how it's affected me, knowing how it's affected people like you and her is just an incredible thing. And, you know, the more that we can tell people about it, the better, you know?
Yeah, I mean, once it affects you so drastically, I'm not surprised that she's given it to 6 people. As I said, I bought them as presents as well, because when it has that profound effect on your life, then you want to share that and tell the world about it. And that's maybe one of the main challenges with Pavlok, is just the education. Because as you said, on the surface, if you're telling someone about this thing, hey, it electrocutes you, people are like, that's too extreme, that's too wacky, or whatever. But if you can tell them about the effectiveness and the input it's had on your life, or just buy it for them as a present, then I think people will listen.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, Jack, I really, really appreciate you doing this interview. I think we covered a lot of great stuff. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us, and for recommending Pavlok to those 2 people. It sounds like they've had a lot of success too. So thanks again, man, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon.
Great, thanks.
All right. Bye.